Ibrahim, planting the tree of Tawheed, a Maqasidic insight by Dr. Karim Abuzaid. Join us on Saturdays and Sundays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Laila Nasheeba, streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers.
Maqasidic. This is when we look at the objectives of the Quran. Every chapter of the Quran has an objective, and every sentence in that chapter relates to the objective. And the purpose of the Quran interpreter is to present to you the objectives of that chapter and how they relate to what's happening in your personal life or what's happening in the world today, so that you can formulate goals in your personal life to help you to deal with whatever problems you are faced with. That's what being maqasid. That's the Arabic term, maqasid. That's the Arabic term, maqasid. That's what that term means, okay? But it refers to setting, looking at the objectives so that you can set goals for yourself to better your life, okay? So this is the Maqasidic Tafsir of Surat Ibrahim. I'm getting ready to go into the Tree of Shirk. And this topic is so important because unfortunately most of us, instead of having the Tree of Tawheed within our hearts, we have unfortunately developed the Tree of Shirk. So let's put this PowerPoint up here. And by the way, this is the book, the Maqasidic Tafsir of Surat Ibrahim. And we're going to be covering pages 97. I did look at the book. I hope it's the right pages in the book. Pages 97 through 100. The rise of the evil tree. And I want you guys to ask yourself, are you planting the evil tree within your heart, or are you planting the tree of Tawheed within your heart? Very important. So let's take a look at it. Okay. And it starts off with this verse of the Quran right here. And look at how Allah uses beautiful, beautiful metaphors. Every heart is a garden. And if you don't plant the tree of Tawheed, the tree of Shirk will take root. Now, remember, guys, Arabic words. One Arabic word can mean 100 different things depending on how it's used in a sentence. A lot of Muslims think that shirk only means to associate partners with Allah. Shirk means more than that. Shirk means to hide something, But in this case, shirk also means to not only associate partners with Allah. Shirk also means disbelief, to disbelieve in Allah. So if you don't plant the tree of belief, Tawheed means to believe in the oneness of Allah. If you don't plant the tree of belief, then the tree of disbelief will take root. No heart is empty. There's either one or the other. Either you have the tree of belief or the tree of disbelief. And no soul is neutral. Remember, Allah tells us in the Quran that the soul is criminal by nature. It's the nature of the human soul to be attracted to what's bad, to be attracted to what's dirty. So we have to train our soul, you know, to be balanced. So just like a field left unattended, our inner world, which is our heart, we cannot leave it barren. If we do not intentionally plant the seed of La ilaha illallah, which means there is no deity worthy of worship other than Allah, if we don't plant that seed in our heart, and if we do not nurture it with knowledge of Allah, worship of Him, and sincerity to Him, then the weeds of disbelief will grow, and we'll end up giving into our desires of the soul and the ego of the brain. These things will take root, and they'll overtake the space within our heart that was created for Allah, for us to believe in Allah. So just as belief in Allah must be planted and cared for, disbelief must be abolished. And if we don't abolish it from our heart, it will spread. And it will cause us to become spiritually lazy. It will cause us to become blind spiritually and negligent spiritually. The soul will become idle. The soul will give into itself. The soul will run away from the truth. Remember, the soul is not attracted to what's good. The soul doesn't like the truth. The soul is attracted to lies. The soul is attracted to delusions. Okay? That's what Allah means when Allah speaks about the parable of the two trees. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. And the parable of the evil word is that of an evil tree uprooted from the surface of the earth, having no stability. This is the verse in Surat Ibrahim that Allah gives us about the evil tree. When a soul neglects to plant the tree of Tawheed, this is the tree that will grow in your heart in its place. This is the tree of shirk. And unfortunately, guys, most of us have this tree in our heart. The tree of the evil word. This tree mimics growth. This tree may appear to be inclusive. This tree may appear to be intelligent. This tree may even appear to be righteous. But in reality, the inside of this tree is just like this picture, hollow. It's hollow inside. It has no individual truth, and it has no ability to endure any storms that come its way. Let Allah send a trial to it. Let Allah send a hardship to it. That tree will crumble and fall to pieces. We see it all the time. A person may appear to be so strong, so intelligent, so smart. That's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, never refer to a non-Muslim with names of righteousness. Because if they were deserving of those names and titles, they would be Muslim. Don't give a non-Muslim titles of distinction because they're not deserving of them. If they were, they would have been a Muslim. So you wouldn't refer to a non-Muslim as being someone strong and powerful. If he or she were, they would be a Muslim. Only the believers can weather the storms, not non-believers. Only the believers understand that there is no power, there is no might other than Allah. The believers know that nothing happens unless Allah wills it, not the non-believers. The non-believers don't believe in the qadr of Allah. We do. So why would you give a non-believer a title of respect? Why would you refer to some man like Einstein as being the most intelligent man in existence when he didn't even believe in Allah? If he was so intelligent, why did he not believe in Allah? Why would you give a man like Sigmund Freud titles of respect? Okay? So, the Tree of Shirk, it mimics inclusivity. It mimics intelligence. It mimics righteousness. But in reality, it's hollow inside. It has no root. It has no individual truth. It has no ability to endure. That's the Tree of Shirk. Okay? Whereas the Tree of Tawheed is pure. Its speech is pure. Remember, the Tree of Tawheed produces beautiful fruit. What's the fruit of the Tree of Tawheed? That's the true character. The character of the people of Tawheed is always, good manners, good character, respectable people, 24 hours a day. It's not a pretentious. Their speech is good and uncorrupted. They don't curse. They don't use profanity. They don't lose their temper. They're always humble, always compassionate, always respectable. Also, the Tree of Tawheed is always firm because these people are rooted in the revelations of Allah. Their heart is attached to Allah. They're sincere in their belief in Allah. The Tree of Tawheed is elevated. These are people who walk with their head held high. They know their strengths. They know their weaknesses. The Tree of Tawheed, its branches reach the sky. Hopeful. These are people who have hope. These people are people who are striving to please Allah, not to please man. Everything they do out of sincerity for Allah, not for the people, not for fame, not for money. The Tree of Tawheed is consistent. Its fruit is there all season long, all year round. These are people who are patient all year round, thankful all year round, and grateful to Allah. The Tree of Tawheed is unified. It's one tree that walks one path, that follows one light. Its character is clear. It grows in the soil of surrender to Allah, not to man. And it flourishes in the light of the Quran and the hadiths of the Prophet Muhammad, not anyone else, not opinions of men. But on the other hand, the Tree of Shirk is different. It has no roots. It grows only on the surface of emotionalism. It grows only based on culture. That's why I keep telling you Muslims, get out of that cultural crap. Your culture is Islam, not Afrocentric stuff. One of the things that makes me that triggers me is when I see African American Muslims walking around with those dreadlocks. Dreadlocks, locks are haram. That's against Islam. Allah loves beauty. Allah is beauty. He hates ugliness. He hates filth. When the Prophet saw a Bedouin come to the mosque with his hair knotted up in knots, in locks, he said, "Do you have a comb?" The man said, "Yes." He said, "Do you have oil?" The man said, "Yes." The Prophet said, "Go home, comb your hair out, put some oil in it, and comb through your hair." The man went home, he cut those locks out, he washed his hair, oiled it, and he came back to the mosque with his hair combed through. The Prophet said, "Doesn't that look better? Doesn't that make you feel better?" He said, "Whoever has hair should oil it on a regular basis, wash it on a regular basis, and comb through it on a regular basis." He said, Allah loves beauty. Allah hates ugliness. He said the jinn walk around with their hair in knots. He said there's a tree that grows from out of the pits of hell, known as the Zakum tree. The fruits from that tree look like the heads of the jinn. The jinn let their hair grow and knot up and lock up. What's the source of this hadith? Sahih Bukhari. But you African Americans tell me that's your culture. That ain't our culture as Muslims. That's not the culture of a Muslim, to not comb their hair, to let their hair grow and lock and knot up. And you can't comb through it, and it stinks. The scalp is filthy. That's nasty. Where's your allegiance? As Muslims, we practice al-wala wal-bara. Our allegiance is to Islam, to Allah, to the Prophet, to the religion of Islam, not to Rastafarian, not to the Kafir culture. The tree of shirk is rootless. The tree of shirk grows on the surface of emotionalism. The tree of shirk grows on the surface of culture other than Islam. So you brothers and sisters with those locks in your hair, you better cut them out. And don't call me a racist, because I'm not a racist. I'm a Muslimah. I'm a Muslim woman who fears Allah. And it's not my fault that your root, the root in your heart, are growing on a surface other than what it should grow on. And you want to label me a racist because I'm speaking the truth. I've given you the authentic dalil. Okay? Get rid of it. Also, the tree of shirk is unstable. It's easily toppled by trials. It's easily toppled by hardship. It's easily toppled by a simple question, like the dreadlocks. You ask me, is it okay to let your hair knot up and grow without you combing through it? By the way, the Fusha, yeah, I speak Arabic. I don't speak slang, though. I speak Fusha. You read the Fusha of that hadith. The Prophet said, comb through it, because, you know, the Bedouins didn't comb their hair either. They let their hair knot up like you people are doing. He said, comb through it. Comb through your hair. So you ask me, can you let your hair just grow and you not comb through it? You not wash it, just let it knot up and just let it do its thing. Because I give you the correct answer with the clear evidence like I've just given you. A simple answer like that can cause you to topple over and lose your mind and cause people racist and go crazy. That's the tree of shirk. The truth is always a bitter pill for people to swallow. Nobody likes to hear the truth. We want people to sugarcoat the religion to us. We want people to give us answers that we want to hear, not answers that we don't want to accept. So the tree of shirk is easily toppled by trials, is easily toppled by hardships, or even a simple question or a simple answer. Also, the tree of shirk is deceptive, just like this picture here. Look at this picture of the tree of shirk. It's hollow. It looks thick. It looks big. But this is a weak tree. This tree in this picture is hollow in the inside. It has nothing inside it. The branches can be snapped to pieces if I just touch it. The tree of shirk is cloaked in many forms. It's cloaked in philosophical doubts, pluralistic slogans, spiritual trends, or idolized personalities. That's how deceptive the tree of shirk is. Also, the tree of shirk is divided. It has many gods: marijuana, cigarettes, sex. Oh yeah, can't stop that pornography. Can't stop texting women. Can't stop texting men. Can't stop watching sex movies. It has many voices too, and many competing truths. Also, the tree of shirk is destructive. It bears no fruit, only confusion and spiritual collapse. Shirk doesn't always look like an idol. Today, it can look like an elevating universe. It can even be yourself in a mirror. Or it could be wealth. Or it could be social media influencers who you idolize, or some of these famous speakers who you guys idolize. So there's a big difference between the tree of Tawheed and the tree of shirk. And in another chapter of the Quran, in Surat al-Hajj, Allah gives us another terrifying image of those who associate partners with him, when he tells us in the interpretation of the meaning, whoever associates with Allah, it is as if he has fallen from the sky and was snatched by the birds or carried by the wind into a remote abyss. This is the fate of a soul that's disconnected from the tree of Tawheed. When Allah says it's as if you've fallen from the sky, this was once a person honored by creation who has now fallen without a purpose. When Allah says it's as if you were snatched by birds, this is an example of having false hopes, predatory ideas. When Allah says it's as if you were carried off by the wind, he's speaking about your emotions, your cultural pressures, how directionless a person can be, how disposable a person can be. This is the life of someone who believes in everything except Allah, who created them. And today we are witnessing this fall right before our own eyes. We see many people whose hearts are filled with self-worship. We see many people's minds who are crowded with contradictions. We see many people's souls chasing meaning in every direction except upward. We see many young people searching for an identity with those dreadlocks and stuff, but they're rejecting the idea of a divine purpose. We see many communities embracing moral relativism, but they're losing moral clarity. We see many cultures praising freedom, but they're enslaved to social trends, to different screens and celebrities. This is what happens when the tree of Tawheed is not planted in your heart. Instead, they have the tree of Shirk in its place. So that's why the true believers look around them today, and the true believers ask, what am I growing in my heart? Am I cultivating the tree of Tawheed, or am I allowing something else to grow in its place? And then they do a lot of self-reflection, and out of fear, they make dua. Out of fear, the believer says, oh Allah, do not leave my heart empty. Oh Allah, do not let my desires or doubt overtake the space that's meant for you in my heart. Oh Allah, plant the seed of Tawheed within me, and let no rival remain. Let no idol survive. Let no confusion endure. Make my tree firm, and make it rooted in you, and make it reach the sky. Subhanallah. Powerful. That's a powerful supplication.